everybody. I'm back. I'm going to do a really kind of a simple lesson today, and it was one of the, when I switched from watercolor to acrylic, it was one of the first paintings I ever did, and I was taking it in a workshop. And my instructor, he was teaching everyone else in watercolor, but he was going to coach me through the acrylic process. And he taught me how to start like this, and I fought it every step of the way because I wanted to jump in and do my details. I wanted to focus on what I was good at so that it would just kind of grow throughout the painting itself. I mean, that's the way I used to think. And this is how he made me paint. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to paint some sand dunes. And I am going to dip my brush in the water, my 12-inch.
12-inch?
My 12-inch. No, yeah, 1-inch. Number 12, 6300 series Princeton Dakota brush. Okay, so this is going to be the grass on my sand dunes, and I'm just going to start off with Hooker's green. I may have dipped a little bit of it into some alizarin crimson, which makes it even darker. This is the shape of the sand dunes. I certainly didn't want to start my painting like this when I first learned. This is all grasses. I have a very, very bad reference, and I'm just going to put this down in a second because it's doing me no good because I'm not really following it. I think it just gives me the courage to start, and then I just want to go take over. Okay, so that represents my grasses and my sand dunes. I'm going to put a horizon line in, maybe up here. I know that's not cut in half, Jean.
Absolutely, you are above the midpoint.
So this is all going to be like beach. And this is all sand. Do you see it? So I'm going to put this down. Do you see it, Jane?
I sure do.
I'm going to dip into my just white. Oops. And I'm just going to cast. This is where the sand is going. You know, sand dunes are formed by wind. So they just have a, I don't know, you can just get that nice feeling that it's created by wind itself and these smooth kind of shapes. And maybe you could make, well, if you would do this, but maybe I will, I'm going to bring this up a little bit, maybe put some bigger sand dunes right here, like in our foreground.
You need grasses?
Yeah, that's my grass.
Okay.
All these are grass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing my white. Now, you know, as we let it dry, the white sinks into the kind of the red canvas, and it's not the, you know, we're going to paint over that. This isn't the final statement. This is sand back here. And maybe some water back here. I'm just going to take some light blue and some phthalo green and just kind of maybe pick up a little bit of white right there and just kind of suggest that that's water back there. This, I'm going to dip into some yellow, cadmium yellow medium, and I'm going to just take the side of my big brush and just start to indicate that that these are grasses. If you're that person that loves to get lost in detail, you can get lost in detail, but wait till the end of the painting. Don't do it right away. give yourself that little treat at the very end where you want to zero in maybe on one section, and you can make it more detailed. You can even do, and this is really good, to take the side of your brush and do brush strokes like this. You just don't want to keep doing everything the same. Like exactly the same brush stroke. But change it out. Let's pick it up a little of that white. I like that. See how it's turning into grasses? I just wanted to get these guys up here because I want to, you know how I love to paint around things. I'm going to paint my sky. So I'm going to get some white. Just kind of always start with white. It keeps the sky nice and light. And then I'll bring in some light blue. And I like to cut between my grasses. Maybe some more white. It's kind of hard to paint at this angle, you know? I'm not standing in front. I just picked up a little bit of light blue. Cutting behind my grasses. Still some pure white here. I just, you know, pick up different colors and just play around.
Now that's
Light blue.
light blue. Okay.
It's like a robin's egg. Cut in with the corner of my brush around the grasses. And I think across the top I'm going to get a little darker with a just light blue violet.
Ooh.
I haven't painted sand dunes for a while. Feels good. So my canvas is, do you see that? It's basically covered with just shapes. The paint is drying and it's soaking into the red, which is turning it kind of pink and darker, which is fine because when this is totally dry, I'm going to go back in and do the finish, not all the finishing brush strokes, but show you the next step. So let's go let it dry, Jane.
Okay.
Be back in a few. All right, we're back. I didn't take it out in the sun this time. I just kind of hit it with the hair dryer a little bit. And I'm not going to totally finish this painting right now, but I'm going to explain to you what I will be doing next. Right here where the sand dunes, or the sand hits the grasses, I'm going to cast some shadows. So I'm going to dip into light blue violet, some brilliant purple, some light blue. And hit these. Maybe I want a little bit more purple once I look at it. And I'm just going to put these right up next to my grasses, this shadows. Maybe some of these could be like footprint shadows. And then I'm going to go back in and hit some grasses some more. I'm going to take the fat end of the fat side of my brush and just start wisping up some blades of grass off the edge here. You know, I was so excited about color when I switched to acrylic from watercolor. When I first did this painting, I made every blade of grass like different colors. And it was pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think I need to do that now, but that's how excited I was about acrylic. And being able to use white paint and bright colors. Even though, I mean, I was pretty bright as a watercolor painter, but I guess just to use white paint, that was a big deal. So I'm trying to think of some of the questions that people have asked. And right now they're not coming to me. Can you think of any, Jane, that I needed to answer?
Now that I'm,
Now that we-
it's like blank brain.
They always ask what kind of paint, and I usually use Liquitex. I really like it. But if you use Liquitex Basic, that's student grade. Liquitex regular tubes is not. And you just get, you know, I guess the grade of your paint depends on the binder. So the more expensive the paint, the thicker the binder, and the more concentration of pigment that you have. So if you're working with student grade paint, you're going to have a lot of transparency problems and, you know, just having enough paint to use to get the results you want.
And you also use heavy body, don't you, acrylic?
Yes, I do. So you just keep working on that. I'm going to leave it alone because it's all wet right now, but it's basically I'm just going back over everything that I've done already. I'm going to go and pick up some Naples yellow, maybe tone it down with a little raw sienna, maybe some blue. I don't have real formulas anymore. I'm just playing around. I'm darkening up this sand back here because
It's wetter.
I don't know why. It's just I want to distinguish it from the sand in the foreground, but it might be too dark. I don't know. That can change at any time. I'm just playing around with a lot of what ifs. What if I were to try this? Or what if I were to try that? If it doesn't work, you can just get rid of it. That's looking really dark right there, but you know, you can do some great things. You can, maybe that's where the water's breaking.
Ah,
Aha. And then I'm going to go back into my sky. Fluffy clouds. And I'm going to add some light blue. Really kind of just going right over what I already had. And more white. You know, just kind of random do things. See what happens. There's no real formula of way to make a sky. I mean, just play around and kick in some white. Don't be afraid to show some brush strokes. It's always kind of fun. I'm going to leave it like that right now. And then maybe I'll brighten up my water. Phthalo green, a little yellow, and some white.
and that's cad yellow, right?
Yeah, I wish I had cad yellow light, but I don't have it. I'm out of it right now. Here is my water. Threw in a little light blue because it's picking up the sky. I think I can make that pop more if I can just brighten up the sky next to my water line. Or let's do this. Let's darken the water line that way in the back.
And you're darkening with the phthalo green or
Yeah,
blue?
just phthalo green.
Green, okay.
I could try a little blue too. All right, I'm gonna jump in here and just kind of repeat that phthalo color throughout my grasses. Fat side, sideways, fat side, side. I don't want to overdo it. It's enough for right now. This part, I'm going to really load up with white and Naples yellow. Really load up my brush.
Yes.
And I'm going to negative paint through these shadows my sand. I don't want to be in the shot, but I got to reach this far. Yeah, the question I get is, why do you paint around things when you could just paint your sky, then paint the grasses over it? Because I love painting around things. It recreates beautiful shapes, or else they're beautiful in my world. I'm covering up all this kind of, it turns pink, my red turns pink. And that's my sand. Now you can, as you go back in, as this dries, I'll add more grasses. But you could make little, with your light color, like these little, I don't know what they could be. Some kind of little birds or something that grow in the sand dunes themselves. So I'm not happy with this brown color back there, but you know, when that dries, I'll probably lighten it up and make this a happier little beach, I guess, but we'll see. And but I just want to show you, this is about how far I'm going to take it today. And then, like I said, selfishly, I'm going to finish this painting when I have a one-on-one with my canvas, because that's when I can really figure some things out. I'll be putting in some more grasses. I'll be negative painting through my grasses, maybe changing this. I can't do that right now because it's wet. But changing the color of that brown sand back there, and maybe elaborating a little bit more on my shadows. Just kind of go back and retouch everything, and then I'll be ready to paint the sides and put it out on the floor. So anyway, thank you for watching me through this process, and I hope that maybe you got some inspiration from it. Just don't be nervous about painting, or and worry about what anybody's going to think or judge yourself. Just get in there and really think about the big shapes and the light and the joy that you're having, just feeling that world, and mastering things. Quit trying to make things look like things. Just kind of get away from that and just go, how beautiful can I make that thing look? What can you do personally to make it even better? So anyway, you can watch my videos, get them off my website, janeslivkagallery.com, and you go to the shop page and you can order my classes. They're only $25 a piece. They're an hour long, and you can paint along with me. You'll be able to stop the class and start it up again and save it for whenever. Get a bunch of friends to come over and paint it together. So you're supposed to have fun with it. So until the next video, thank you so much, and see you then.